So today start we start little from yesterday. On the WhatsApp, I giving guidelines of how to know about yourself. I mean, who is responsible? It's you. How, when, what, why is the goal, right? And that's how you look into all your aspects, basically. And then from there, I mean, that's how you identify your struggle. You Once you identify and once you know your struggle and you identify the solution or the action to the struggle that you are going through, that's where you know exactly, and you've identified your problem, you've identified your action, you've identified your weakness. Believe me, 80% of your concern is sorted because you know where you want to work. Most of the people don't know where they want to work, and that is where they go round and round and round. They don't understand what is not in their control, what is in other control. But here you've taken charge of your control. Now you have your own charge. I mean, that itself makes you feel so good that nothing can bother you because it's your own self that is controlling your own self, right? So now today we will touch base on how, now that you've identified your concern, you've identified your actions, you've identified your weaknesses, how do you succeed? I mean, okay, knowing everything is one thing, but how do you succeed in this whole thing after doing everything? Because most of the times we know a lot of things about ourselves, but we don't know how to change it. We've identified how to change it because we have the action. But how do we make sure that we are acting on it, and how do we succeed to the goal that we've set for our own self? And I mean, one thing is, yes, I mean, we are doing self-discipline week. So obviously self-discipline comes into the picture, that you've identified your action. You have to be self-disciplined to follow that, no matter what happens. I mean, be consistent, be persistent about it, right? So the fact is also, who's responsible for succeeding? I mean, who making this a success for you or making this work for you? Is anyone else? No, it's you, your own self, right? Because it's your own action, it's your own part. So it's only you. You can't say, oh, this happened. That is the reason I couldn't do this, or this is how it worked, or this because of so and so things. Yeah, I mean, every day, everything is going to keep happening. That is where we say focus and self-discipline. Yes, this happened, agreed, but I have to do this. This is where you have to have your willpower coming into it, and you have to ensure that you work with your willpower, with the awareness. I'm not saying 100% it's possible because this is the beginning of your journey. But you may have identified or you may have come across people for whom whatever they think, no matter what happens, they work for themselves. It works for them. The universe makes sure that it works because they strongly believe in that. They are clear on their priorities. And that, how does that happen? Only when you are aware about it and your frequency changes and you start working on your own self. The minute your frequency is working on your own self, everything works for you. Everything, all people around you, everything works for you. Are you guys with me? I would like to hear it in the chat. Are you guys with me? Are you understanding this point about working on your own self? It's you yourself responsible. And once your frequency of operating for your own self, for your, I mean, here you're not asking, not frequent, you're not saying that this doesn't work for this person, but it only works, it's only we work for our own self. We are talking about our own self, our own affirmations, our own discipline. There nothing comes, that nothing, no, there is nothing negative about anyone else. That if I am doing this, this is what the other person does. No, the second part doesn't come. It's only, this is what I am doing and this is what I am doing for my own self, for changing my own self, for bringing the positive change that I wish to see in my own life, right? So we need to be very clear. We don't have any wrong beliefs coming into it. Make sure that you do not connect with any other person, any other situation. It's only you and your situation. I've given a clear example also on WhatsApp yesterday, right? So the fact is, it's only we ourselves can make it work, and it's only we ourselves to be blamed if it doesn't work. And it's okay to understand what didn't work for us, right? Because we are doing something, we are working on something. It's not necessary that Anushka is saying, I took the steps yesterday, worked on myself. Okay, and just one sec. What kind? No more dependency. Took charge now. All the time it works. Oh, great! I am glad that it's helping you guys. Okay, so we are saying, if it doesn't work, because we are used to certain way of operating, we are used to our pattern, our thinking. I mean, we may give priority to something else for that moment, but if we are aware for the day, we will be okay. It happened this way. I'm not supposed to do this. I am supposed to do this. If you are aware, you may have 1 or 2 days or 3 days hurdles, but if you still operate with that awareness, those hurdles are bound to go. So it's basically changing your frequency and start operating with the correct awareness where you wish to work on your own self, right? So where you wish to work on your own self, operate with that frequency, and take responsibility. Take responsibility of your goals. Take accountability about your actions. Take your actions, not other person's actions. This is what happened, so I couldn't do this. No, this is what happened. It's okay, but I still have to do this. That should be the frequency that you need to work with, right? Now, second thing is, if you are on a weight loss journey, if you are in an exercise routine journey, if you are working on on any of your relationship issues, if you are working on your own discipline issues, what is going to happen is, we are humans. We are bound to compare, right? Oh, that person did it this way. If she lost the weight in this many days, I'm not able to lose it. Oh, I'm walking so much. I am burning so much. I'm sweating so much. Nothing is working on me. Yes. So we are humans. We are bound to compare. But we need to understand everyone is different. Everyone has a different physical body, different emotional approach, different mental approach we have. We've gone through different things in our life, right? What our body holds, how our brain works, everything is different from other person. Why do we compare with other person? If I mean, I understand the comparison is bound to happen. We are humans, but we need to make sure that we compare it with our own self, right? Me, myself, 1 week before, where was I? Was I waking up on time? No. Now I'm waking on time. Me, myself, where was I before, 1 year before? Oh, I was not even aware about this thinking that I need to work on myself. I've got this. Now I'm working. So comparison with your own self, that will motivate you, because that shows you something measurable, right? Once you have something measurable, okay, this is what I was not at all doing. I've started doing it. Wow, that makes you feel good, right? But the minute, I mean, so do not get into the comparison pattern with some other individual, but compare yourself, because your struggle, your journey, your patterns are different than the other person. Some person may be very different. So get into the comparison. If you understand the comparison only way to operate, then it's okay to compare. Eventually you need to move out the comparison, because I mean, you need to operate with your own frequency. Comparison is good, but not every time. So, but if you still operate with the comparison thing, then compare yourself with your own self 1 year before, 5 years before, 6 months before, 1 week before. So you will realize your own graph, and that will motivate you to do things that you are focused to do, basically. So we are humans, we compare, but compare it with your own self. That's the thing, right? For the day. Now it's your own struggle, so you know what works for you, right? And whereas, I mean, you all are very much regular on daily Theta healing, so you've understood a lot of aspects of your problems, your situations, your concerns, right? So, I mean, take help, take understand your own fears, own insecurities. What are your limiting beliefs? What doesn't work for you? What works for you? I mean, you need to, when something doesn't work for you, you need to look deeper. Why didn't work? I mean, नहीं ये नहीं हो सकता. I can't do it. It doesn't work for me. And you close the chapter. Okay, the chapter is closed. No one will dig. No one will help you to solve it. But the minute you look deeper into it, you're bound to get answers. Why is it not working? What is that my thing that's not helping it to work? Where is it going wrong? You need to, the minute you have that curiosity to find answers about things, and you will have the whole universe work for you, because you've already identified your concern. You know what is your actions. You have written down everything, and you have faith in the universal energy. So it is obviously that it's going to work for you, right? And at the same time, you you can also maintain a diary where you pen down your daily success. This is yesterday was this. Okay, I was doing this, but this is how I changed today. I mean, that daily, I mean, it gives you that feel of wow, this is where I was, this is where I'm reaching slowly and steadily. It's okay if you can't do it daily. I mean, at least have your weekly. I mean, it's very easy nowadays. You need not have your diary also. You can just create your own group on WhatsApp, and wherever you are, you can just type it. And when you see day wise your progress, you can have your all your individual messages to your own self, wherein you can, oh, that day I did this. Okay, so then this. It becomes very easy, because that gives your brain, yes, it's working, right? Who decides whether it's working or not? Either it's me, myself, or something that I have written down, because we tend to forget. Okay, we one bad day, we are going to like be like, zoop, nay, this doesn't work. I don't want to do it, because we bound to start going for a procrastination. We are bound to going into resentment. Something someone expects, and we say, no, I don't have time, so I don't want to do this. So it's always there. It's not about exercise. It's also about problems which you may having. I mean, you may have a argument with something, and you will be like, no, this doesn't work, no matter. Okay, I mean, even if you have an argument, even if you have a difference of opinion, you just brought that awareness in you that this is where I want to change. I mean, it's okay to have. I mean, you may have had number of episodes behind, but now it's okay to have even one more episode of it. But at least you have the awareness. This should not happen. That is where your progress is, right? So wherever you are, baby steps towards your success is something that you need to be aware. No one can make you aware about it. It's only you yourself can make you aware about it, that I am changing slowly and steadily. And then if you find the pace is slow, you can take it faster. You can take a leap. This is what works. Okay, now next time these three things is not going to work, not going to happen by me. I will make sure that this is where I'll have more self-discipline. This is where I will keep a watch on my way of talking, keep a watch on my way of thinking, keep a watch on my way of laziness. Everything. Once you have understood the secret of what works for you, then apply that secret in multiple things, and you will see everywhere the difference that you wish to see. So this is the secret basically, and once you apply it, it's everywhere. So I explained you how to how to measure your progress, because we all are humans. We may need some motivation. The motivation comes from the progress part of it. And I mean, a lot of people needs constant motivation. So that is the reason they also get into these workshops or these programs where it's weekly monitored by a mentor or someone, so that they realize, I mean, the weight loss thing also works that way, right? Every week you go and meet the person whom you are following, and then you see on the scale what has gone down. If it is going down, it motivates you. If it is not, then the person will say, no, no, don't worry, it will work. So that constant motivation is needed. But you need to find, it's not necessary that you need some constant motivation from outside. If you are your own motivator, you can achieve everything. So identify where what aspects of your such solutions needs motivation. Take help of motivation from your own thinking. Take help of your partner. Take help from your partner, friends. I mean, that motivation helps basically. So if you are a person who needs motivation, you make sure that you have your motivation also as an action plan in place, right? You know someone whom you say, hey, listen, I'm on this journey. Ever I talk about this as a problem, please don't tell me that yes, this is how it only works for you. No, please be a good motivator. That is what I need. It's okay to have that clear dialogue with someone whom your frequency matches, and with whom you can say, listen, I want you to be my motivator for next 3 months. I am on this journey. Whenever I say this isn't work, make sure that you motivate me and bring back me to that place where I should be, right? You need to, so basically here it is, where you wish to have you should know yourself, so you know where what works. If you need a motivator, make sure you have a motivator in the form of a friend, in the form of a mentor, in the form of a colleague, whomsoever you think that you would listen to that person, right? One more big secret is visualize your solution. I can stay calm now, don't react properly. However, the internal, okay, what happens is chat pops up and then it gets out of the screen. So, okay, then I accept and I heal and integrate that part of me with B, and okay, great. And the heaviness will still reduce, but how do you make it up go completely? Make it up go completely, you need to be consistent enough and practice it. And the more you practice it, you will realize that you take, see, you must have seen a child walking, right? The journey of the men, first they will walk 10 steps, they'll fall down, they'll, but that journey takes, that confidence of walking without any support for a child also comes after 2-3 months of falling down, taking support, doing things. So that's how it works for all of us, right? If you have started something consciously, you're bound to fall down, you're bound to have some bad day. Yeah, but that's okay, because that's how it works. That's how our brain is also showing, is going to give you some tantrums, but you need to be disciplined and you need to be have your own willpower in place. I understand this was a tanker. I'm not going to get into that. This is where I'm going to be focused. That's how it works, right? You, when you operate with a lot of awareness, you will realize how you react to things, how things don't work for you. I mean, and once you understand how things don't work for you need to find out your action plans and you need to rechange your action plans if it is needed. It's not necessary this week, whatever action plan is working. If it's not working, if it's going well, you need to add on to your action plan. Like today, in the beginning, you may have said, I will go for 20 minutes walk. But if you have to go for another 40 minutes of walk eventually after 2 weeks, you have to add that 20 minutes of another time slot of yours schedule to, and you have to change your action plan. Now, this thing I will not be doing today, or this is, I'm changing this activity in during the day so that I get at a stretch 40 minutes. You need to keep constantly, change is the only constant thing. Basically everything right now we are talking, every cell of our body is changing, every cell, right? Every second you are aging. So Change is the only constant thing in the life. And if you avoid change, you are stuck, you're stagnant. So wherever you are facing the issue, bring with awareness change, and change will change everything in you. So one last point for the day before we start the downloads. Our brain doesn't differentiate with what is real and what is imagined memories, right? Because our subconscious mind doesn't understand what's real and what is imagined. So the minute you start imagining what is the goal that you have achieved, the imagination of your goal, that okay, this is how it is and I've achieved it, the brain chemistry changes it and makes sure that it comes to you. So start imagining it. Whatever. Yesterday I told you, you need to have a timelines, you need to have specific clarity about everything. Once you have all your action plan with clarity, the next thing is start imagining everything is done for you. Imagine how good it feels to achieve what you are setting a goal for. Imagine where you wish to reach in your weight, where you wish to reach in your exercise routine, where you wish to reach to be respectful to others, where you wish to work on your own self, all that concern that you have had. But make sure that you work on one concern, because this is a new concept for you. Once you have a new concept, you need to first master the concept. Once the concept is mastered, you can implement a number of things. So don't go with too many things at first thing. Go with simple things. It works, and then make sure that whatever is your goal, start imagining it. Imagine not imagine that this is how I'm doing it, so this is going to happen. This is no. Imagine it's done. And even in the imagination, have clarity the same way that you had it in the action plan. What, when, how, everything. Because universe doesn't have a concept of time. You may have with ma'am number of time in daily Kika healing also. There is no concept of time. So if you be clear, this is time frame, in this is going to happen to me, and it's happening. It's happening to me, it will happen to you. So imagine your goals is what I'm saying. So today we've spoken about how to succeed. One is take responsibility. You're responsible. Do not compare. Everyone is different physically, mentally, emotionally. Comparison is good to motivate you, but not with others, with your own self. Affirmation, work on your fears, work on insecurities, work on your limiting beliefs, because the minute you identify, you write it down, and you are open to change, you are open to work on it. Universe is bound to help you. You may motivate yourself with your daily progress, weekly progress, whatever works, whatever suits you. Change, if anything, doesn't work. Change is the only thing that is constant. No matter today, if you are seeing a tree, every second it is growing, right? That's where after a week you see, oh, they've got flowers. It's not overnight. Every second, everything is changing. Change is the only constant. And visualize. Visualize is what goal you have set. Start visualizing it. Visualize it with the right way, with the right affirmations, with right things. No negativity, no doubts, no fear of your goal achieved. If you have fears, if you have limiting beliefs, you are blocking them, then work on them also simultaneously. Yes, so here we will do the downloads. Any queries you have, you can put it on the chat after the group is open for today, so that we can take it up tomorrow. Yeah. We move on to the downloads for the day. Creator of all that is. It is commanded to download and instill the feelings to the group who's listening to it right now, or who may listen to it little later, that they understand how to visualize their goals. They know the creator's perspective of their goals from the creators of the seventh plane. They know how to, when to. It is safe for them to visualize their goals. It is safe for them to live their life with visualizing their goals. And it is also safe for them to visualize that they have achieved and they know how to, and they know the actions, and they know the path to to reach their goals in a very nicer and a smoother way that works for them, that for their highest and best, in their highest and best possible way. They know how to, and they know it's possible, it's safe to live with the goals that they have set for their highest and best, in their highest and best possible way. Creator of all that is, it is also commanded to download and instill the feelings of feelings of what they know. They know the definition of of change from the creator of from the they know the definition from the seventh plane of the change, and the change is something that they can allow happening in their own life with a very ease. They know how to, when to. It is possible and it is safe to live and experience the change that they wish to have in their own life for their highest and best, in their highest and best possible way. Theater of all that is, it is commanded to download and instill this feeling into each one of them, into every cell of their body, into every aspect of their life that they wish to work for their highest and best, in their highest and best possible way. Thank you, Creator. It is done, Creator. Show me. Creator of all that is, it is commanded to download and instill this feeling into the group that they know their journey, they are connected to their own self, they know how to succeed, they know their own limiting beliefs, they know how to identify it. It is possible and it is safe and it is for their highest and best possible way that they understand and they work on them for their benefit in the way they wish to get it for their highest and best. And it's possible to have that knowledge and that awareness in them, and it's possible to live with that conscious awareness wherein they work on their own self for their highest and best, in their highest and best possible way. Creator of all that is, it is commanded to download and instill that feeling into each one of them. Thank you, Creator. It is done, Creator. Show me. Creator of all that is, please allow them to understand and let each one of them have a nice and beautiful day and start their journey in a way that they find it in a is they find it really they find it really working for them, and in a way that it is possible to be with their own self and also work on themselves, and they understand the creator's definition on working on their own self for the bringing the change that they wish to bring in their life, in their aspects where they are struggling. They know their struggle, they know their actions, they know how to implement their actions. This whole thing becomes is implemented and followed through them with a very ease and with a very comfortable way for their or for their highest and best, in their highest and best possible way. Taker of all that is, allow each one to experience this in the best possible way for their benefit and for in the way that they are ready to work on it. Thank you, Creator. Please download and instill these feelings into them. Thank you, everyone. I hope this is going to be helpful for today's action plans. Please relook into what you have written yesterday. Check if there is any loopholes. Check if anything needs to be relooked into. Change it if it's needed after today's session you've heard. And we meet tomorrow with more guidelines and more ways to work on it.